There's the thrill of it and the fear of it. It's scary and it's exhilarating to be able to fly through the air and hear that the audience go, ooh. Elvin Bale, born in London, England, is a fourth-generation circus performer. Elvin's dad, Tommy Bale, started performing at the age of 3. Elvin's grandparents, aunts, and uncles performed their various acts in vaudeville and circuses across Europe. Elvin's uncle, Harder Johnson, became a well-known wild animal trainer and ringmaster. His uncle, Charlie Bale, was a famous character clown in South Africa in the 1950s through the 1970s. Tommy, who later became better known as Trevor, built his own circus in England during the Second World War. Trevor became well known in Europe as a wild animal trainer. Hearing about Trevor, John Ringling North journeyed to Denmark and hired Trevor to train a brand new tiger act for the 1953 circus season. Elvin wasted no time. He started practicing a trapeze act in the backyard of their home in London, England, hoping to perform in America. So the Bales packed their steamer trunks and set sail for America on the Queen Mary. After 5 days at sea, the Bales arrived in New York City. After arriving, Elvin and the family took in a few famous New York sights before boarding the train at Grand Central Station on his way to Sarasota, Florida. Looking out the window, Elvin couldn't believe his eyes. It was a circus. Unknown to him at the time, it was the Clyde Beatty Cole Brothers Circus winter quarters in DeLand, Florida. And now the moment the Bales have been waiting for, Sarasota, Florida, and the Ringling Brothers Circus winter quarters.
Hi, honey.
Hi.
Hey, what are you doing with the clown hat and the balloon?
Just getting in the mood for the big show. It's coming direct from Ringling Brothers Barnum and Bailey winter quarters in Florida. Yeah.
Well, come on, what are we waiting for? Let's go to the circus.
Live from one of the most exciting spots in America, the winter quarters of Ringling Brothers Barnum and Bailey Circus, the home of the greatest show on earth. We see the opening parade coming out of the tent, breaking up. And now, here is Mr. Circus himself, Mr. John Ringling North, president and producer of
Good
Ringling
evening,
Brothers
everyone.
Barnum and Bailey Circus.
We circus people form a truly international family. Our performers come from all over the world. And after tonight, most of them will scatter to the four corners of the earth until next season. So we are traditionally bidding each other bon voyage with a big festive performance for one another. We've invited the good citizens of Sarasota to be our guests, and it gives me the greatest of pleasures to invite you also to join us at our circus Christmas party. Let's go inside now and meet our host for this evening, that distinguished actor and my very good friend, Charlton Heston.
Hello. Welcome to our Christmas party. Wonderful to be back here under the big top again. Frankly, I'm having the time of my life. It's like coming home. You see, back in 1951, when I was making the picture, The Greatest Show on Earth for Cecil B. DeMille, I lived with this circus for 3 months. I got to know the performers, the roustabouts, the animals, the whole works. I loved it. So about a month ago, when I just finished for Mr. DeMille again, this time in the Ten Commandments, when General Foods asked me if I wanted to come back and join the circus again for tonight, I jumped at the chance. You know, it's just the way I remembered it. I think the thing I remembered the best was the family feeling of the circus. Most of the circus family is sitting right here in this section of the grandstand with me now. When the performers aren't doing their acts, they'll be sitting right here watching the other acts with their children. Some of the children are going to be getting into the act tonight, too. Some of them appearing in public for the first time. So everybody's on their toes. It's kind of a special occasion. I think you'll get a kick out of seeing how circus performers are homegrown. But as the ringmaster says, what are we waiting for? I've got a whistle here, so on with the show. Now, while Captain Bale's getting ready for the climax of his act, I'd like you to meet three friends of mine. This is Miss Gloria Bale, who is 12, and the twins, Donita and Elvin, who are 10.
How do you do?
They're all the children of that brave man in the cage there. Tell me, is that act really as dangerous as it looks, Elvin?
Well, what do you think?
I think it's dangerous. Did any of those tigers ever attack you, Dan?
Yes, Vicky.
Vicky, tell me about it. How did it happen?
Well, Daddy was changing his props around, and Vicky pounced on Daddy.
Oh, that must have been quite a pounce.
Yes, Vicky weighs 600 pounds.
How did he get loose?
Well, he yelled in Vicky's face, and then he grabbed Vicky's throat.
My heavens, that was quite an escape.
It's a lucky thing that all the tigers didn't attack while that one tiger had him down.
It sure was a lucky thing. Oh, look, your dad's getting ready for the pyramid. Let's just take a look at this, huh? What's the matter? Has your dad lost control?
No, just sometimes he forgets.
Forgets? What do you mean?
He should say please.
He should say please.
Say please, Papa.
At the age of 10, Elvin started practicing the unicycle and trapeze, and the family performed as the Cycling Bales for the 1957 season on Ringling Brothers Circus. At 12, Elvin toured South Africa with his family performing the Cycling Bales, and Trevor worked the elephants, the tigers, and rode ostriches in his spare time. Returning to the U.S. in the fall of 1958, the Bales joined Hunt Brothers Circus for the season. And in the fall of 1959, rejoined Ringling Brothers Circus until 1964. After returning from a cultural exchange program in the Soviet Union, Irvin Feld and Kenneth Feld asked me to join the brand new Blue Unit.
Human rocket launcher designed and built by the world's greatest daredevil, Elvin Bale.
Elvin Bale is just a guy who's grown up in the circus and would like to be known as the circus daredevil. So I built this new motorcycle, and we're doing now a wheelie on the highway, which is really incredible. And it's a great thrill for me. I love doing the motorcycle because, again, I can get really high. In the buildings, I will go right to the apex of the arena if it's 100 feet or if it's 60 feet or whatever it is, and I get way, way up there on, like in the clouds, so to speak, and it's a big thrill. The monster is a brand new concept, and again, it's mechanical, so therefore you never know what can go wrong with it, and that's one of my biggest fears. I'm confident in myself, but I don't know if the mechanical monster is going to break down in the middle of a trick or something, and that can be very dangerous. For example, the boom could default, or I could have a hydraulic leak, and the thing could come down, and the mechanical part of it is what really worries me.
Sean Thomas's career is just taking off, and Elvin Bale is the one who got him launched. Elvin Bale was once the master of the cannonball universe.
The electrifying Elvin Bale.
Once, Elvin Bale was one of the greatest daredevils the circus had ever seen.
Every 2 years I would build a new act for Ringling Brothers. The Wheel of Death, the heel-catching trapeze act. That used to scare me.
And of course, the cannon.
When you're what I call a life performer, a daredevil for life, it is your life. And if something happens, you can't give up your life. The only way you're ever going to overcome what happened to you is to do it again.
What drives daredevils like Elvin Bale, the Flying Wallendas, and Evel Knievel to continuously put their lives in danger? Not the only daredevils who could actually fly. In the history of daredevils, there are acts which can truly be described as explosive. One is the human cannonball.
The cannon is like a monster in a way. Probably the most dangerous, or one of the most dangerous acts in the circus, or one of the most dangerous stunts ever, because you never know what's going to happen when you pull down the barrel.
A daredevil disappears inside the cannon. Then, at precisely the right moment, the human projectile is launched at a rate of 0 to 62 miles per hour in a space of 10 feet. Cannonballers have flown as far as 181 feet, soaring as high as 6 stories in the process. Another renowned cannonballer is Elvin Bale. For many years, the Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus crowned Bale the world's greatest daredevil. He was also held in high regard by his peers.
I think the greatest compliment that I ever had was when Evel Knievel said to me, "You're crazy." To me, that was a great compliment, because to be a good daredevil, I think you got to be a little crazy.
Never using a net, Bale riveted audiences performing many different thrill acts. Blindfolded, or with another acrobat on his shoulders, he balanced on top of a spinning 40-foot high contraption known as the Wheel of Death. While in full flight, during his solo trapeze act, Bale slipped forward to hang only by his heels.
To me, the heel-catching trapeze act was the most dangerous act that I ever did, and that's the act that I thought was going to get me.
Bale was wrong. It was the human cannonball that ended his performing career. On January 7, 1987, while performing in Hong Kong, China, Bale miscalculated the distance he would fly and overshot the airbag placed to cushion his landing.
I hit with my feet and I broke every bone in my body and my legs, all the way up to T12. I broke my back in 2 places.
Though Elvin Bale never performed again, his love for thrill acts is undiminished. He now teaches others how to be daredevils.
Elvin's latest pupil is Zarina, a third-generation circus performer from Bulgaria. She was a gymnast and trapeze artist, but now she has a much bigger challenge to master.
The first thing that I do with most people that I've trained is what I call ground school. That's after they've seen some videos of the cannon, and after they've decided that they really want to do it, then I start with this ground school, which is basically pretty simple. You lay the person down and you show them how to hold their body and what position to be in when they take the initial hit. I think that's one of the most important things in the cannon, is learning to take that hit and to be in the correct position. 4, 3, 2, 1, fire, click! You can get shot out of the cannon and just kind of look like a salami coming out. No, too soon. Wait for the click. And then what I want you to do is put a little more effort in it. You know, a little more life in it. It's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, fire, click! You can tell who's been trained by Elvin Bale because they fly beautiful. Put some oomph in it, not like this. Okay, it's boom, you're coming out of the barrel fast. And as the countdown goes off, the pressure is more and more and more, and you get more nervous because you know very well that any second on that countdown, you're gonna go no matter what.
When the trigger is fired, between 10 and 12,000 pounds of pressure is released, and the cannonballer is on his way.
And that cannon compresses your vertebrae, believe it or not. It compresses your whole body, and there's about 18 Gs. It really does take its toll on the body when you get shot out of that thing. You really have to be in good shape.
Being a daredevil for me has been a wonderful, wonderful life. I wouldn't have given it up for anything. It gave me the opportunity to perform all over the world and to work with the most incredible people, like John and Henry Ringling North, Lucille Ball, Bruce Jenner, Here my cheetahs are receiving gold chains from Gucci's on Rodeo Drive. Dick Van Dyke, James and Catacai Lipton, Walter Winchell, Sugar Ray Robinson, Leonard Nimoy, LeVar Burton, Lee Meriwether. I am the only aerialist ever to perform in the Vatican for Pope John Paul II. I won the gold and silver clown in Monte Carlo and got to spend time with Princess Caroline. Princess Rainier also invited me to be a member of the jury for the 1996 Monte Carlo Circus Festival. I won the Circus Oscar in Madrid, Spain in 1975. And in 1976, the NASA astronauts came to see my human space shuttle. I have performed all over the world: Africa, Australia, France, Germany, Holland, Hong Kong, Italy, Japan, and Russia. This was just a short version of my life. There is so much more.